We are working on a fabulous recap and understanding metaphysically of the Beatitudes. And this is so powerful for us because whether you realize it or not, the Beatitudes and how they have been interpreted are the basis of Christendom. And Christendom is the basis of your world. Whether you realize it or not, the governments we create, how we handle one another, underneath the flow are the precepts of the Bible moving through it. And so as we start understanding more deeply what the true meaning of Jesus was or how we can interpret it in today's world of using it, rather than it just being something that was a thou shalt. This helps us rewrite. It helps us uplift. It helps us alter the foundation that we're standing on so it can be better, brighter, wiser. So I thank you for coming and caring. I thank you for listening. And those of you that are watching, thank you for taking an interest in the Beatitudes. Because I know a lot of metaphysical people go, not interested. But they don't realize that it's already in them. It's already in you. Okay, ready? All right. So we started with, the first one was learning to be receptive, which we understand the power of that. Then Patrick did, these are the worthy R's. Worthy are those that are receptive. Worthy are those that seek a sense of rightness. And one of his major points that I absolutely attached to was when we are seeking rightness and justice, how are we to self? How much injustice do we hand out to self? And that was just so powerful. And then David talked about mercy. And again, the thing that I held on to with that one, mercy opens the door to forgiveness. Without real mercy, you never can get to that. And when you get to forgiveness, you can get to love and you can get to transformation. So it's just such a powerful thing. And he said one of the most powerful gifts that we can give one another. And I thought that was just so beautiful. And if you did not hear any of those services, they're all on YouTube. They're on Facebook. Go and re-watch and visit them. So today, the one I am going to talk to you about is in the Aquarian, and this is not in the New Testament. Most of them, they duplicate each other. Aquarian, New Testament, done chapter 95. So worthy are the merciful. Then it says, worthy are they who gain the mastery of self, for they have the key of power. Worthy are they who gain the mastery of self, for they have the key of power. That's what we're going to work on today. So mastery of self, when we think about that, we're really talking about not control, not like master, but to become the authority, that kind of mastery. Mastery of self, to become the authority, the one who understands the details, the inner workings, and that which creates the outer manifestation. The master understands and knows and chooses the experiences for growth, love, and peace. I choose is the power statement when we master self. I choose. And we teach in metaphysics, the master is the one through whom the answer can be found. It's not an intellectual library of knowledge that we gather. It's the one through whom the answer can be found. And we have to master self first before we can really understand how we flow in this world, right? So we think we choose, don't we? I choose all the time. But do you choose all the time? So in metaphysics, we talk about the subconscious mind, the higher self, the superconscious, and the conscious. Conscious mind is where we make our choices. The subconscious mind is like our storehouse. It stores every bit of information about every experience you ever had. It's got some files that are amazing. They're amazing files with everything good, bad, and different. Doesn't care. Has all the emotions filed. Everything is filed. And if you are not making a conscious mind choice, guess who's choosing for you? The subconscious mind. So did you ever sit with someone and they say, what do you want for dinner? You go, I don't know what I want for dinner. Well, I don't know what I want for dinner. Well, what do you want for dinner? You know what you guys are doing? You're saying, I'm abdicating choice, subconscious mind, kick in, subconscious mind. What can you pull up for us now? We're letting subconscious guide, right? Instead of saying, Oh, my higher self, what does my body want? You see? Higher self, I don't know what I want. What does my body need? And pull down information that way. Most of us do the sub. You got it? Okay. So, when we're doing the subconscious, we look to the outer, what's happening, and we choose something familiar, something that we've seen that's familiar to us. So if you're in, let's just go with food. If you're in an area, your subconscious knows exactly what's available. What fast foods are there, what restaurants are there, and it goes to what is familiar, what's more easy, and it'll throw you there. Got it? What is familiar in the subconscious mind is what you feed in the subconscious mind. And we can feed through repetition, just the same thing over and over again. We can feed the subconscious mind. We do feed the subconscious mind by what we watch on TV, what we listen to music-wise, conversations that we have. How many of you have the same conversation all the time? Sometimes it's the same person, sometimes it's different people. And you come to the same conclusions and you never let yourself get out of it because it's familiar. Or you'll take a stand because it's familiar and you'll take opposition because it's familiar, instead of trying to get beyond familiar. The subconscious mind can only take you where you've already been. How much will you know and learn about yourself? You getting it? Okay. One of my realizations when I was very young, I was single, young, baby, and man, did I love those country songs. This is back in the 80s. And I would sing them until one day I'm doing metaphysics, trying to get my life in order, and I realized, do you realize the words you're singing, Cindy? Oh, my heart aches. Oh, I'm so sad. And the reality was I was sad and my heart ached, but Spirit said, Cindy, you are affirming instead of calling in the new. You're going to that subconscious place that's comfortable for you. And I had to stop listening to the songs at the time. Now they're different, but back in the day, they were very sad as a general overview. So be aware of what you're taking in. Be aware of what's coming out of your mouth, whether you mean it or don't mean it. Be aware of how much subconscious activity is actually going on. And then ask yourself, am I choosing this? Am I choosing it, or is it just familiar? Or am I saying it because I heard it? A lot of times you just say stuff because you heard it. So, okay. So when we become aware of the subconscious, then we can start becoming aware of the conscious. Oh, that's interesting. I think I want to choose something different. All right? If we follow subconscious conditioning, how will we really learn who we are? That will be very difficult. So how do we find self? I wanted to share this in the Aquarian. Do you want to find yourself? Do you have any idea who you are? Some of us do that are seasoned and been at this for a while. Did you find things along the way that you didn't like? Sure did. Had to move some of those files over. All right. In the Aquarian, chapter 8, this is when Elihu is teaching Mary and Elizabeth, the moms. The boys are still babies, John and Jesus. It says, there are two selves, a higher self and a lower self. The higher self in human form is clothed with soul and made in the form of God. Our higher self, that part of us that's connected with God, is a part of our human experience. It's always connected with God. And then there is a lower self that is, I will read this, the carnal self, the body of desires, a reflection of the higher self distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. I thought that was always funny. The lower self is illusion and will pass away. The higher self is God in man and will never pass away. The higher self embodies all of truth, beauty, love, all the beautiful things that we know are eternal. The lower self is the temporary, the false, that which just has energy for the moment. So the lower self is rich in promises, but it does not fulfill the desires of your heart. The higher self is when you feel life and oneness with God. And I'm paraphrasing all of that. Then he says, if you would ask me what to study, I would say yourselves. And when you've studied them, then I would say, study yourselves again. So most of us know the difference. Most of us know when our consciousness is based on survival. And then when our consciousness is based on God. when we were younger, and I have some examples for you, but I want you to hear me. When your identity is based on the earth plane. So when we were younger, we're flying by the seat of our pants, of course, because God's with us. And we're still young, and everyone in the world, it was early 90s, everyone in the world was all about prosperity. We need prosperity. We need prosperity. And I remember it's like we had our needs met, but we were with God. We were doing what we were told to do. Money came. It was great. It was just enough. We were just enough to keep going, to walk in faith. And I remember telling God, we don't have retirement. We don't even have access for retirement. God, you know what God said to me? Shh, don't worry. Your spirit. Your spirit. You don't need to have money in the bank to prove that I'll take care of you. You don't need to have money in the bank to prove that you make enough money so you have retirement. Shh. Your spirit. Walk as spirit. That was a big thing. I went, okay, we can do that because, there was nothing else showing up for us. We're going to do that. But do you see the difference between walking with my eye on being taken care of in this earth plane and walking with my eye on God? Whatever happens, happens. Walking on my eye on God. This is the difference of where is myself? If I walk on my eye on mankind, I will measure my worth by mankind. I will define myself by my stuff. Do you hear what I'm saying? And as the waves change for mankind, as this becomes more important or that becomes more important to the race consciousness, I'm going to have to ride that wave too because I'm in that game. But to really trust and walk with the fact that you're spirit, to really walk with that, only then can you know who you are. Because if you are walking with your eye on materiality, you are only going to see how you reflect to the outer world. And they are defining you. Now, a lot of us have had to walk that walk, haven't we? By the seat of our pants, doing things and just trusting God all the way. And prospered along the way and blessed along the way. And there's been no lack. But we had to do that consciously. We had to say, yes, I will do that walk with you. Because always there was another path in that moment. And I'm talking about mastery of self, not mastery of integrating into the world of matter and making it be what you want it to be. Not yet. I'm not talking about that yet. So, a few little stories, and I share these stories because they were, in reality, probably the first and only time that happened. But I want you to hear. Myself, who is myself? When I was very young, had not met Patrick yet, in metaphysics, really trying hard, paycheck to paycheck. There was before internet, before computers, truly guys, magic phone's not out yet. There was no magic phone off the wall. You had to go to the wall to pick it up, dialing. Okay, so yeah, so you got it. Okay, and I'm very active in my church. I'm just so active, and everyone's metaphysical. And so there was this thing that started to happen among the church members, and there were like 500 in that church, active members. And this thing started to happen where there was a story of a man who was representing a woman who was suing someone because the family money had been tied up and taken from her, and she was suing them for the money. And if everybody donated money to this lawyer so he could sue her, then everybody who donated money got money back. Now, right now, 30 years later, you guys are going, yeah. But back in the day, this is the first time I ever heard about it. None of us had been into these Ponzi schemes or these pyramid schemes. This was brand new. And how it was presented was, you have to have faith in God. Have faith in God that this is going to happen and you're going to get your money back. And everybody's going, I want faith. I have faith in God. I have faith in God. And so there was a lot of people around me that were doing it. And they kept saying, Cindy, do it. It's like, I got a kid to feed. $100 is 2 weeks of groceries here, people. But you got to have faith. And so I prayed about it. And Spirit said this to me. Cindy, okay, you can have faith. Okay. Cindy, what about suing someone for their inheritance that was blocked is in your consciousness? And I said, nothing. And Spirit was, then that's not yours. It's just very simple. Is it in you? Is that in you to do that? No, it's not in me. Even if it was my situation, that is not in me. It's not what I would do. Then walk away. Very simple. And I called the man afterwards. I called just to double check. Called the man that was doing it, and he said it's called a war chest. And a war chest is when you willingly donate money and for the war that's going to happen, knowing nothing's going to be returned to you. That's what it was all about. So he admitted it was a non-return situation. But this clarity that Spirit gave me was immense, and I've used that ever since. How much of what is going on here is a part of me? Then I have no value to you. If I cannot contribute, I have no value to you. This is not mine to do. You guys hearing me? There was another incident where I was, many years later, Patrick was around, and someone, again, get rich, you guys need to buy stock, get rich. And there was a big old hubbub about that. Internet's still not available. But I was meditating or dreaming, and I got the call letters of a stock. And I went, oh my God. I forgot if it was a meditation or dream. It's been that long ago, and I wrote it down. And so I looked them up, and they were a Japanese company that is like a Walmart or something. And I went, okay. And then, but their motto was love and peace. Their mission statement was take care of one another. We love our families. We love our communities. And I went, yes, God, I'm going to do it. So I, with my little $200, whatever it was, I bought that much stock. And I bought in that and invested in that little company. It was a big company. The stock probably cost me $10. What, 20 years ago, 25 years ago? It's now $13. But I didn't do it. Is it okay? Yeah, yeah. 30% increase, I hear. Okay, but I didn't do it for the money. I did it because Spirit asked me to. And when I aligned my energy, was that my energy? Oh, heck yeah. When I aligned my energy with that, I've got buddies in Japan now. We're doing peace on earth. Do you see what I'm saying? We are all uplifting. How you invest your energy tells you who you are. How you invest your energy. Now, metaphysically, we do believe that if something's on your path, you deal with it. If someone drops on your path, you say, okay, Spirit, what am I supposed to do with this here? Because it's on my path. But it does not mean I get off who I am. It means I contribute who I am to that. You guys with me? Okay. How we learn who we are is through the situations that we face. And most of us, if I asked you to just tell me about yourself, gave you a piece of paper and said, write something about yourself, you might start with one good thing, then you'd end up with a bunch of bad things, and then you'd end up with more bad things. Because we focus on our limitations. It's so true, though. It's true. We focus on our limitations. You can tell me your limitations at the drop of a hat. You cannot tell me your good qualities. Tell me what's good about you. That's what you say. I do not know what's good about me. I don't know my innate talents and abilities. I don't look at them. Why not? To master self, we must know self. We must know what is for me on my path. Why is this on my path? How do I stay on my path? How do I grow on my path? What is for me on my path? You guys hearing me? All right. In Life and Teachings, I wanted to share this. Man is made or unmade by himself. In the armory of thought, he forges the weapons by which he destroys himself. Yay! How cool! All right. He also fashions the tools with which he builds for himself heavenly mansions of joy and strength and peace. By right choice and true application of thought, man ascends to the divine. By abuse and wrong application of thought, he descends below the level of beasts. Between these two extremes are all the grades of character, and man is their maker and their master. And how often have you been high, 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 and then the next moment, mean, mean, mean to yourself? To yourself. And if you're mean to yourself, you're mean to other people. You don't realize it. You don't realize it because they feel your energy, and it hurts them too. Jesus saw that man may have all the intellectual knowledge and be versed in worldly affairs, yet if he does not recognize the Christ as living, vitalizing essence of God within him, he is grossly ignorant of the most important factor governing his life. If we do not know ourselves, and if you know yourself, go within, guess who you find? God. You cannot not find God, because you are part of the divine. But you'll find all those layers of that beautiful creativity that you are as well, as you're journeying in to know self. And Jesus, teacher, healer, it is difficult for man to reach up and respond to the divine spirit when he is imprisoned in the hard rock of earthly materialism or in a diseased body. Until, through his spirit, man understands the law of God and works in harmony with it, until he attains a degree of self-discipline, his whole being is unbalanced. Know yourself. When a highly developed soul understands spiritual science and can work in harmony with divine law, he is able to perform what you call a miracle. When we know ourselves, when we know who we are, matter moves for us. We do not have to command matter to become different. It moves for us. Do you understand? When we touch and know the divinity I am and the beautiful talents and abilities we have, matter moves for us. You guys know my story about when I was a little tiny child in kindergarten and I failed art. I've forgiven myself for that. I can also tell you, in truth of being, I was an awesome artist in another lifetime. It was not something I can bring forward this lifetime. Do you understand? And I know that about myself. I was a kid because I color really well, but that's about it. I will tease about myself not being an artist because in this lifetime I am not. In my heart, I am. You see? I know that about me. I also know the talents and abilities I brought for this lifetime have been sculpted over many lifetimes. And they were good and they're the best that I could bring to this moment. That is true of you as well. Every talent and ability that you brought to this world this lifetime is perfect and it's the best you could bring to do what you want to accomplish. It doesn't mean that you aren't all those things from before. You might have been all those fabulous experiences that are not yours to do now. You know? Are you guys hearing me? To know self is to know the wonder of God in me. I love the song, Sorelli. That is my soul song. I love that song. That is that holy moment when I know that without the divinity, I have nothing. But with the divinity, I am. That is knowing self. But again, in the knowing of self, there's the tapestry of all the fabulous stuff that's you. The unique things that you've experienced, the wonders that you have, the people that you love. That's fabulous. That's building your soul energy of experiences. And your story is not my story. Your walk is not my walk. Yours is yours. But don't you love hearing somebody's story? I do. So let's go to the last part of this. And I will do this quickly. Let's recap. The first step of self-mastery. Am I consciously choosing? Am I choosing? Am I reacting? Am I even aware of what's coming out of my mouth? Am I consciously choosing? The second part of this blessed art, those who know themselves have the key to power. To create energy, to direct energy, to be one with God, the key to power. You guys hear me? Okay. Where there are those who gain the mastery of self, where they have the key of power. When I know who I am, my power is directed by my command. When I know who I am. Do you realize how important your power is? Do you realize how important mankind needs your power? Do you realize how important we all are to mankind? Do you realize how important you are to people? They want your energy. They want your energy. They're taking your power. Do you realize when someone's bullying someone, they're actually taking the power of the person being bullied? They're trying to take power. Our power is fabulous. Our power is immense. Where are we directing it? Where are we sending it? We are very vital and very important. I don't know how long ago, because I'm seasoned, but this realization came to me, because, we're TV kids, we're raised on TV. Realization came to me, there is so much for sale that they don't advertise. There were, I didn't know this, $1,000 shoes. I had no idea you could buy a pair of $1,000 shoes. I had literally no idea. I'm coming to church and work, I'm coming to church and work, I'm coming to church. I had no idea that there are lines that have shoes. Now it's no big deal, but back in the day it was like they were over $1,000 a pair of shoes. And I started thinking, why don't they advertise? Because and I asked someone who had money, why don't they advertise? Why don't the appliance people that are $12,000 for a box with a burner on it versus someone else that's $2,000 for the box with a burner on it? Why don't they advertise? And the wealthy person said, because when you're wealthy, you know where they are. Okay. But why do the advertisers hit all middle America every day repeatedly? Buy my stuff. They need us. They need us. They need us more than they need the kid that can buy the $1,000 shoes. They need middle America's power of money, power of participation, power of energy. We are needed in the economic structure of this country to keep it going. That is why they don't pander to the rich, because they need us. You guys hear me? Now, if they ain't my dollar, my pennies, my whatever, what are they really getting? My attention and my power. And that's okay. So they need our power. That's great. They need our money. That's great. Now realize I'm going to choose. I see you want that. I see you want me to buy that. I get to choose. Now I get to choose. You guys hearing me? That's how powerful you guys are. Because if this whole middle America structure said, there would be problems. Literally, our power is important in the world of reality that we live in today. And if our power is important there, how important is our power in spirit? Our spiritual power is all the more important. All the more important. Sometimes Spirit says, just because you say something and 10 people hear you, it's in the ethers, it's available to the masses. Just keep saying it. Just keep interjecting your spirit into this reality as my light. And that one voice is power-filled. You see what I'm saying? We are important. Middle America, and wealthy people too. And I'm if you're wealthy, please, I'm not picking on you. Wear those $1,000 shoes and let me see what they look like. I'll celebrate with you. But do you guys hear what I'm saying? All right. Those who know self know where to invest their power. Those who know self know how to instantly manifest. That's the key. Worthy is he who knows self, for he has the key of power. Okay, let's go with it. Take a breath. Father, Mother God, we just feel your love. And I ask that Jesus Christ just stand with each soul here and each soul that hears my voice. And as you feel his love, feel the right, the power, the authority that you have to think that you are good, to remember that you are a child of God. See a beautiful column of light come over you. And just breathe. And let yourself lift up. Lift into that beautiful space where there's only love. And just begin to feel your own energy. And then begin to feel the energy of the world that surrounds you. And begin to feel the support. In the energy of the world around you is support for who you are. Support for who you are inside, what you want to learn, what you are creating. And now focus on the support from the world for who you are inside. And know that this walk, you are not alone. Breathe in that love and support. And just become aware that God has you. As I look to God's heart with my mind, God has me. The love of God pours into me and through me. Believe. And all of the other energies in your world, if there's energies that you wish to change, that do not support the inner you, just send love to them now. Take a breath and send your creative life force. Soften. I want to soften that. I want to just kind of make that indifferent. For I want to love me. Feel the love of Jesus Christ by your side. And know that you are not alone. All power of heaven and earth is given when you love yourself. Feel his love for you and gently come back down your column of light. Feel your chair, your feet on the floor. In your heart, say, I am a divine child of God. And if you want to say it out loud, say, I'm God's child. We claim it, Father. We are it. And we thank you. Again, breathe, send your love into the room. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. The Master knows the in-workings, the hidden knowledge, the abilities, the truth. The Master can use this for anything. Powerful beings of light. Say, yea, God.